Hello, everybody. It's Thursday. Welcome back. Episode number 14 of Flamescast. It's your great host, Kyle, along with no Neil today. That's okay. Just give him a hard time. He's busy. He's moving around. He's doing stuff. So it's all good. I don't blame him. It looks absolutely gorgeous outside on my end. So I really want to go out afterwards and maybe fill up on some fast food, potentially. Maybe. I'm trying to, you know what? I've been good recently the last week or so with having to not eat too bad. But yeah, I mean, you have to sometimes make an excuse for yourself and then feel better about it whenever it comes and goes. But yeah, so hope everyone's had a good week so far. It's been one, man. It's been a crazy work week over at THPN, and yeah, I got some crazy exciting things happening, and especially going into the new year, it's gonna be a time. I'm excited. I know Dylan's excited about it too. And with all these changes that we've made up to this point, it's been good, and I can't wait. But we're not here to talk about THPN. We're here to talk about what the hell happened Tuesday night with our Flames. Let's dive right into it. So yeah, Tuesday night, heading into Montreal, beginning of a 3-game road trip. And it starts off with a shocking win. It was a tough way to start it, but out of nowhere, it really changed where when it was initially 2-1 for Montreal, the offside call comes in, delays the 3-1 lead, goes back to 2-1. Coronato finds a way to tie it late with under 3 minutes to go, ties it, and then he becomes tied for second in the fastest scoring overtime goals in NHL history. 7 seconds in, takes it off the face-off, goes all the way down, and roofs it on Samuel Montembeault as the Flames win it in overtime 3-2 as they get right back on track, and they now improve to 7-5-1. Initially, I mean, if we're starting from the beginning of the game, which I think is probably the best way to start it, the stats, I mean, all in all, the stats aren't really telling you what really happened in that first period. I thought for the however manyth game in a row now, I mean, you take last game with Edmonton where, you're slow out of the gate, they go up 2-0, and then all of a sudden, see you later. That's exactly what it felt like in that first period. I want to point your attention to something here because after the first period, let me scroll up a little bit. After the first period, the Habs had 15 shots on net. And watching that, they were just smothering them. They were able to set up in the O-zone too easily. They were peppering Dustin Wolf with shots. Too many shots on my account for anything to go that badly in the first period. Dustin Wolf is the only reason that the Flames are in this game to begin with, going into the second, going into the third period. He was sensational in that first period. He played probably the best period that I've ever seen him play this season. He was spectacular. Made a lot of really key saves, moving across the crease with the one-timer. I believe it was Joel Armia who had a shot on a one-timer that he had to slide all the way over, and he just got his pad on it. He was really, really good in that first period. And the only reason why the Flames were still in this game going into the second and into the third period. So I thought he played really well. I thought the guys in front of him did not play very well. They were very flat-footed. They weren't getting onto each other's mans. They just were not finding ways to get the puck and start creating their own chances down the other way. It felt like Montreal was just making it too easy for themselves, and they were creating a lot of high danger opportunities in that first period. And we were lucky it wasn't 1, maybe even 2-0 after 1. But alas, we go into the second period. Young stud shows up in Connor Zary. He finds his way. He gets a nice little rebound there at the hash marks. He finds a way to slide it by Montembeault with all that traffic in front. He makes it 1-0, and then all of a sudden, it felt like it was a better period, but it just started to fall apart a little bit. Brendan Gallagher, you go back, you give them a power play goal there on that one. So, good wrist shot there for Gallagher as he ties it up, and then Flames get a power play. All of a sudden, 2-on-1 goes the other way. Shorthanded goal to Joel Armia. And to start the third period, 5 minutes in, it's now it is all of a sudden 2-1, and you're thinking, oh no, like how could this happen, right? We'll get into special teams in a little bit, but not a great way to give up a 2-1 lead, and then all of a sudden you think it's 3-1. All this, and then they go offside, gets called back, and the Flames have a little bit of life here, and they might have taken that and go, okay, we're still in this. We only need one. We're not down by 2 here. No kidding, as the goal was taken back. And Matthew Coronato, watching that game-tying goal in the third was a thing of beauty and something that I've really been harping about with this team all season long. And I mentioned it on the last episode too. These guys need to start creating their own chances, right? You're wondering, in terms of the goal scorers, who's going to be able to create their own chances, get into open ice in 5-on-5 in the offensive zone, more or less, and find that space to get a shot off. And I want to preface it by saying, too, that the defense don't count, right? You're 5-on-5. You see Weegar, you see Anderson taking a lot of the shots, but you're more or less looking at that forward group going, okay, when we are 5-on-5, who's taking those key shots, right? And it's none other than Coronato. He makes a great spin move along the boards, gives himself open ice, doesn't think twice, takes a great shot, and all of a sudden, we're tied up at 2. Phenomenal work by Coronato, and I think, that's what we want to see, right? And now all of a sudden we go to him and go, okay, I want more of that. And I'm not talking about the goals, right? Goals aside, I want to see more out of that from Coronato. That's the Matthew Coronato that we want to see, right? Where he's making that 1 or 2 moves, he's giving himself a little bit more ice, and he needs to be the one now to take some of these shots. And I'm glad that he's taking them, and I'm really, really happy for him. Goals aside, it's like finally we're getting somebody 5-on-5 here in the offensive zone to start taking more shots. And, finally that we're starting to see that out of somebody on this team. And he executed it beautifully with under 3 minutes to go. So great opportunity for him. Great way to get the puck on net. Not to say that the Flames weren't putting the puck on net all game going to the second and third period anyway, because they had 13 shots, 12 shots on goal. But again, it felt like that they were not getting a lot of grade A opportunities like Coronato had there with under 3 minutes to go in the third. And it's really great to see out of him. I'm happy that, that was the guy to do it. Blake Coleman getting the assist. And speaking of Coleman, like he said it after the game in quotes, speaking about Coronato, he brings a lot of energy and has the high-end ability to make plays like you saw tonight and shoot the puck. But he doesn't sit around on the outside of the game. He gets in there and mixes it up and plays a lot bigger than he is. And that's what you're hoping for. That's what you want to see out of him, right? And I think it's just very important that, you start thinking about earlier on the season going, okay, well, initially we had Zari with Backlund and Coleman. It was kind of working okay. But now you add a goal scorer line with Coronato there. You go, okay, you need to be the guy on this line to start taking, exactly like Coleman's saying there, and start taking those big opportunities, playing big, playing in those moments, and be that goal scorer on a third line, right? Third or second line, however you want to put it, right? He needs to start being that guy. I think he can be that guy, and I think he really does play well on that line with Backlund and Coleman. So I thought he worded that beautifully there after the game. And then you go into overtime. I can't remember who lost their stick. I'm not sure if it was Lane Hudson or if it was Cole Caulfield. I forget who it was, but somebody lost their stick right at the faceoff drop. And then all of a sudden, Coronato just picks it up, takes it. He's got all that room again. And it's like he doesn't even think about it. He just goes for the shot. Beautiful shot on net, right on Montembeault, top corner, ends it. Sayonara, see you later. We're packing up and going home. That, again, just previously to go on what I was saying, that's what you want to see more out of this forward group, more out of this 5-on-5, 3-on-3, whatever it may be. You want to see get into open space and take these shots, right? You're going to get these nifty little garbage goals here and there, and I think that's the majority of what the Flames goals have been to start the season for the most part. other than some little 2-on-1s here and there. But I think for me as a viewer, I want to be able to see more of, okay, create those open chances, get into the open spot, and just start taking shots, right? Again, we saw a lot of it there in the second and third period that they were taking a lot of shots, but again, the quantity was there without the quality. And I thought the quality really picked up there in the third, as showing with Coronato tying it and then winning it in overtime. So, I mean, really happy for him. It's going to be really interesting to see now with his agent being a little, not pissed, but a little annoyed that he got sent down, and now all of a sudden he's brought back up and he puts on this type of performance and helped give the Flames a big win in Montreal to start this road trip. This is the type of performance that you feel like, okay, he's going to be sticking around for a little bit longer, right? And I think I feel like Tuesday night was a statement for him, right? To come back, you know, in his second or third game or whatever it was from coming from the AHL, he comes back, felt like a statement game for him, and he puts on that type of performance to not only tie it, but then to go on and win it in overtime. And so, you know, maybe that's the confidence that he needs. He's not going to do it every single game, but hey, I mean, you start with that. It's a really good start for Coronato, and we're going to see it more or less going into tonight as well. So really good stuff from him. And then overall, too, I thought my biggest takeaway, a lot of people were saying it after Tuesday night, was the young stars were coming to hang out again. I mentioned it earlier on here where Dustin Wolf really shined in that first period. I thought he played phenomenal tonight. Connor Zary getting on the board too early on. And the main reason why this team ended up winning tonight was due to on Tuesday night, was due to their young stars. It came down to Dustin Wolf having to stand on his head there in the first period. Came down to Zary, who potted one there to get them going a little bit. And then you see what Coronato was able to do the rest of the way. So big win. Didn't feel like they earned it, though, at the beginning. But as the game went on, they stuck with it, and they found a way regardless. And sometimes that's just the way to do it, and that's the way they've been kind of doing it for the most part of this season. They've just been finding weird ways to win, and they improved to now 7-5-1. Within that, too, another quick note as well. Anthony Mantha was taken off. I believe so far he's day-to-day, so haven't heard too much about whether or not he's missing an extended period of time, but it looks like going into tonight, he will not be in the lineup for that one moving forward. And then two other really quick notes. I thought special teams was pretty bad. You know, I mentioned it too with the shorthanded goal early on. Not great. You know, now they're, since the Edmonton game, before the Edmonton game, and if you include this game on Tuesday night, the Flames are now 1 for 23 on the power play while giving up 2 shorthanded goals. So not great. Maybe you start thinking about, okay, why don't we start giving Coronato a chance on this power play? If this is how he's going to shoot the puck 5-on-5, you wonder if you give him that opportunity now on the power play and see what he's able to do with guys, especially who have been slumping as of late, with Kuzmenko not off to the hottest starts of the year, with guys like Anthony Mantha, who's been up and down and looking for another contract and maybe some value at the deadline. So maybe this is just the opportunity that Coronato needs to step up and say, I'm going to be that guy to now start firing it here on the top power play unit. So we'll have to see going into it. Special teams hasn't been great. And, you know, for the second or third game in a row, this team has been slow out of the gate. So it hasn't been the best of starts, and you want to change that, especially where you have to go into Boston tonight, into the Garden, and you're going to have to really show face in that one. Yeah, so I figure we'll move on here. I'm going to go ahead and read some ad reads for you guys real quick, and then we got an exciting interview afterwards as well, too. We're going to jump on with Anand. And as well, he is just, you'll learn more about him in the interview. I won't dive too much into it before we get there, but mentioned it as well, too, for everyone that we put it out on Twitter and Instagram that if you guys want to be on the show at any point, please just let us know, and we'll make sure to make some time to have you on. So let me get through some ad reads, and then we'll jump right into the interview. The quest for the Stanley Cup starts now. The puck's dropping on the 2024-25 season. You can get on all the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. Super easy for first timers to get started. You can try betting on something simple like picking a team to win. You can go to DraftKings Sportsbook app and select your team to place your first bet. And if you're new to DraftKings, listen up. New customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings, the crown is yours. If you have a gambling problem, you can call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY as well. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. You can call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. And on behalf of the Boot Hill Casino and Resort, 21 plus of age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Voided in Ontario, you can use bonus bets to expire 68 hours after issuance. And for additional terms and responsible gambling resources, see dkng.com/ice. It's copyrighted the NHL in 2024. All rights reserved. We're also sponsored by Game Time. Fortunately, I can't make it out to the game on Saturday, as I did mention it in the interview coming up that I was going to make it. Turns out I'm not going to the game on Saturday, but that's okay. I'm still going to the one in February that I'm really excited about. And you guys can check out all that on the Game Time app. It allows you to look at some of the panoramic views of the seats before the game and lets you pick out exactly what you're looking for at the price that you're looking for as well. Game Time is a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Game Time Picks does make it easier to save more on sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. It includes all-in pricing. You can toggle the feature to show the total up front with no surprise fees at checkout. Again, you get that panoramic view that you're looking for in the app before you buy. You get the lowest price guarantee. And as well, Game Time ticket coverage allows you to have the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. You can take the guesswork out of buying tickets, and with Game Time Picks, you can download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code THPN for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply, and again, create an account and redeem code THPN for $20 off. Download Game Time today, and what time is it? It's game time. And it is game time. We will get into the interview right away, guys. Very short summary here. This is Anand that you'll meet. He just messaged us recently, a couple of days ago, just to come on, talk about a little bit about what he's into in the Calgary area, the program that he's in, how he's involved with the Flames, and to learn a little bit more about his life story. So without further ado, I say we jump right into it. Hope everybody enjoys the great interview coming up. All right, we're joined by Anand now. Just kind of had it out in the Twitter X verse a couple days ago, where having started the show recently, we love having some guests on. We've had one earlier on already, Steph, who was a great guest, and now we're joined by Anand. So I appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for having me, Kyle. It's an absolute pleasure to do this with you this afternoon.
Yeah. So from reading the message that I got from you, just in terms of just a little bit of background here. So the understanding is that you've got your own show. You're also a student trying to get into broadcasting as well. Obviously covering the Flames too on your end as much as you can. Any sort of way you can kind of give us some background on that in terms of how you got involved with kind of just covering the Flames a little bit and what led you to kind of being a student going into broadcasting.
Yeah, of course. So actually, I started for most of you who know me personally, I started my journey with undergrad in Law and Society at University of Calgary, but that didn't work out well. I changed my paths a year ago now to doing the broadcast news program at SAIT, and I've been doing hockey coverage, so like the Flames on my personal end. So I write small articles here and there. I report on the Flames, what the insiders report. I do also the post-game shows on Game Over Calgary, and it's been a fun journey so far. I think I like it better than my undergrad degree I did at University of Calgary. It's a lot of hands-on experience, a lot of connections that I've made.
Yeah, that's the one thing. I mean, having
going through the business side of things for me, and rather not the broadcasting, and then doing some marketing and then being more hands on. Like that's the big thing, is that a lot of the learning with that is becoming more hands on, right? Like that's the way you're just going to learn through this kind of industry. Is there something that you've kind of what, depending on if you've started recently or not, but going through the program a little bit, is there something that you're kind of fond of now, like any sort of like things that you kind of look forward to as the program goes on a little bit further, anything that you're kind of excited for?
Yeah, so now I do hockey play by play as well. So I do for majority of the junior teams. So I do color commentary for the Calgary Canucks AJHL. I do different play by play gigs here and there. I'm looking forward to the couple of tournaments that are coming up. Actually, this afternoon I have a PA announcing gig at Rocky Mountain Classic. That's at Winsport here in Calgary.
Nice.
And then there is the Western Canada Showdown tournament coming. I have a couple of play-by-play games on that, and I get to interview players as well. And then the biggest of the tournament is coming in December, the Circle K Classic. That one. Yeah, that one gets me excited too. I'll have opportunity to either do color, play by play, or P announcing. So that kind of interests me, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Where did it kind of begin, where you got interested in being in this type of industry and doing these broadcasting gigs?
That's a fascinating question. So I've been moving around the world, kind of. So from Dubai, I moved to Edmonton, to Sherwood Park, to Calgary, and then when I went on the streets on Calgary with the first day I moved, I saw like a lot of people wearing Flames jerseys. So I started to follow the Flames then. And then also I listened to the City News 660 radio station here in Calgary. They provide news constantly, traffic updates as well. And I listened to one of the traffic reporter, Tracy John, who is currently retired. He actually made me fascinated and wanting to join this broadcasting program. I connected with him over social media. I asked him, hey, what program did he take to get into this kind of role? And he said he graduated from SAT as well in the what was called the, I think, the CTSR program back in the day, computer radios, something like that. So it was kind of the similar program. So I thought, if an opportunity presents, I'll take the program, and then I did. So I am here at SAT now doing the
Nice.
broadcast news program.
That's awesome. So then you see a lot of the Flames fans with jerseys on and all that, getting to experience that. So what kind of really drew you into this type of fan base?
Actually, my friend, one of my friend, he invited me to a game on October 25th, 2 years ago exactly, so 2022. It was the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Flames. So they hosted Pittsburgh Penguins, of course, Sidney Crosby, hockey legend. So I got to see him play in person. And then the Flames won 4-1-2. The first time me seeing the fireball experience at the Dome, the energy of how they score. Because back in Dubai, I used to only attend cricket and soccer events, and that was completely different. It was more, what you call, wide space, because the cricket stadiums are huge, bigger than a hockey stadium, so you don't feel the compactness, you don't feel that energy as closely like you do watching the Flames games. So I think that's what drew me. And then of course the concourse itself, great excitement, you get to meet different kinds of people, there are a lot of good food to try, and a lot of different multi variety experience as well. Even getting to the Dome, it's a thriller. Taking the train, you see Flames fans cheering, "Go Flames, go!" That brings that vibe. So I think all that factors drew me into being a Flames fan.
Nice. And you feel obviously the fireball heat whenever it goes off. Like it doesn't matter where you sit in there, it's you're gonna feel
Yeah.
it. So yeah, it's definitely pretty cool. Yeah, so then kind of going into a bit with this season, obviously you're still going through your program and all that. Any sort of plans that you have that you want to try to get more involved within the Flames, like anything you're trying to see? Obviously you mentioned being a part of the new Game Over network being created. There's a little bit of that now with that. Is there anything else that you kind of think of going forward that you would like to do maybe with the Flames?
I have been keeping a surprise for most of my fan base. Maybe I'll share it to people who closely watch the Hockey Podcast Network, I have got my Sportsnet practicum secured in January. So I'll be doing unpaid practicum for Sportsnet for 4 weeks in January. And most likely I'll be doing the Flames, Wranglers, Hitmen, all the teams that are in action in January. And that's the plan so far. I haven't really set it out loud anyone yet. I just want everything to set in stone place. So that's one of my part to be involved with the Flames. So hopefully, maybe uh, I've been told I'll get to work the morning shows. So with George Jurassic and Matt Rose, and then in the evenings as well. So probably with Pat Steinberg, Aaron Vickers, or Eric Francis, maybe get to meet them, get to work with them. So I think that will be the close lining as much as I'll get to work closely working with the Flames just for now.
The usual suspects.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's exciting. I mean, those are probably the most popular names in Flames media there. You mentioned Steinberg there as well, and Eric Francis, and Sean Parker as well too, who does a great job with Flames TV. He does phenomenal
Brendan
work with
Parker,
it.
right?
And Brendan Parker. I always call it Sean Parker for some reason. Yes, Brendan Parker. I know. I think I've done that on numerous occasions now, where I've called him Sean for some reason because I know a Sean Parker, so maybe that was why. But yeah, so kind of going into a bit, obviously we have this game tonight with the Bruins. You've clearly followed this team all the way up to this point. We've had our views, myself and Neil, having done the show since the start of the season. Your thoughts, any big takeaways that you have for the Flames since day one?
I think the first thing I'll talk about is the goaltending. I think I've liked it a lot this season. They're rotating, and this time they're going with consecutive starts for Dustin Wolf. We saw that with Dan Vlada last week, where he got the shutout against New Jersey Devils, and then he started against Oilers. So I think giving Dustin Wolf that reward as well. You did good last game, you're in again, which is I think perfect. Give him NHL starts. Boston Bruins is another good team. They can be a good team. I know they have had their own struggles, but giving Dustin Wolf the NHL caliber games, I think will definitely sort it out. So I like how Ryan Huska has been that way. I also like players getting accountable for. I think you might have talked it on the Hockey Podcast Network, but like for example, last week Pospisil took unnecessary penalties, especially the game against Edmonton Oilers. He got sent to the fourth line. So I think that's one great example. Kuzmenko was not doing good. He got sent to the fourth line. Next game, he improved well. He's back on the first line with Zari and Kuzmenko. So I think those are the things that you love as a Flames fan, and you enjoy seeing the different changes, and obviously they're moving towards a youth moment. You saw Sam Honzek get a good run at the NHL before he got sent down. You may have another call up coming soon, depending on how long Manta is out for. So you might see like a Klapka or a Rory Kerins or a Jacob Pelche again. So all those moments, I think, so far so good, and I've been a fan of it so far.
Especially with a couple of days ago, or excuse me, 2 days ago now, when with the comeback win in Montreal. Now Coronato is going to get a chance to still play with Coleman and Backlund tonight. Yeah. You mentioned that Mantha is going to be out. He wasn't skating today, so he's going to be out for tonight's game. But I mean, we've talked about it before, right? Where Pospisil has to kind of, not worry about those kind of big penalties you take in the offensive zone. It's been an issue, and something that they maybe hope to correct going forward. But your kind of projections for this team after the way that you've seen them start, any sort of projections that you have going in the rest of the way this season?
I feel like right now it's still too early. They're just getting the chemistry back together. There are gonna be so much changes yet to come even. So I don't know if I can set a set stone projection, but so far, as you know, most Flames fans have been surprised how they run. I know they had that ugly 3-game losing streak. They rebounded back once again against New Jersey Devils. That was one key stride. And then 7-5-1 to start a rebuilding season. I think way surpassing all the expectations. I know last season we had that ugly losing streak as well. We are not seeing that this time just yet. I know things can change, but I think it's too early. If you ask me, around maybe the 20 games or 30 games into the season, maybe I'll have a projection, but right now it's too early. There are too many players who surprise us, honestly.
For sure. Yeah. It's a good project to start on the way that they've started this way. It's been very good. But yeah, no, this has been great to talk to you so far. Always looking for any more fans to come on and just chat and chat about their story as well too. It's exciting that, you're going through this program, you're going through these stages to try and just, make your way up the so-called food chain here, I guess, in Flames media. Is there to kind of maybe end on this a little bit, is there something that you are most looking forward to once this program is completed? Is there a bigger goal kind of in mind? Obviously, you mentioned being involved in the media, in that regard, with the Eric Francis of the world and the Steinbergs and all that. Is there sort of a big picture, like big dream that you envision that you want to be involved in?
Right now I'm with the mentality that take whatever comes to you. Basically, be open to anything. I think that's what has changed my mindset of media. It's saying yes to whatever you can, and I mean, don't overwhelm yourself. Of course, don't what you call burn out yourself. But saying yes to all those opportunities you can take, I think that's the most key takeaway that I have learned. Like, I've done a lot of PA announcing. I have done play-by-play for lacrosse and hockey. People have been recognizing me here and there. My post-game recaps on Game Over, or even my own personal projects, when I do them, I keep getting recognized. So whatever opportunity presents to me in the door, I'll take it. It depends on the landscape, of course. If it's in if I have to move somewhere, I'm totally for it if it's a great opportunity. But right now I'm in Calgary. I am happy that I'm here in Calgary. I'm thankful to all my instructors, to all those connections that I made. So yeah, honestly, whatever comes my way, I'll take it. As long as I enjoy doing it and they enjoy having me, I'll take it. So whether if it's media, freelancing, projects by myself, whatever I do, I'll be happy as long as I enjoy it.
That's the way to do it. That's the way to look at it. I totally agree with you. Yeah, thank you again for coming on. I thought I'd as well too at the end of this just give you a chance just to kind of make any announcements, anywhere to follow you on, and anything coming up as well.
Yeah, I am on CJY_Anand as my name tag shows. You can follow me on Twitter or the Xverse if you would like, Instagram as well. I have a YouTube channel. It's AU, so capital AU apostrophe S vlog. I do different kinds of vlogging and sports shows as well, post game coverages. And then, of course, like you said, Kyle, at the beginning of the show, I'm doing Game Over Calgary as well. I have the post game show tonight at just after the final whistle between the Boston Bruins and Calgary Flames. It's a 5 p.m. puck drop. So we are estimating to go live around 8 o'clock, 7:45 Mountain Time, that is. So come check out us. And I'm back on Saturday as well with Game Over Calgary, doing the Sabres game as well. That's an 11 a.m. puck drop Mountain Time. So we'll be live around 1:30 or 1 o'clock ish. Yeah, thanks for having me, Kyle.
Yeah.
This was awesome doing it, and I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, for sure. 7 p.m. Eastern for those. I'm going to be live for the game tonight as well on the THPN channel. You can check Anand as well too on Game Over Network for a post game, and then also for tonight, and then also for Saturday. I'll be at the game on Saturday in Buffalo, so very excited about that one.
Hope you enjoyed that one.
I will try my best. Thank you very much for coming on, Anand. Really appreciate it, and hopefully we'll do this again very soon.
Yeah, I would be happy to come back on.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, and that was Anand, ladies and gentlemen. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I believe for the next 2 episodes, we're going to be having some more guests on as well too. Again, if you just want to show face and just come banter as all Flames fans should, please reach out to us. We'd love to have different fans on, and we appreciate anytime that we get reached out to, and anybody that wants to join. It's a lot of fun. So thank you again to Anand for doing that with me. And yeah, I figure we jump right into it. We got a big one tonight as Calgary continues their little road trip as they head into Boston, into TD Garden. It's always a tough environment to take on the Bruins. If some of you remember last year, the Flames ended up winning in a shootout against Boston. I think it was something like 5-4 around that, but yeah, I figure we dive into it here. And I wanted to bring up here Derek Willis, who is on fan 960 here from Flames. Wanted to bring this up because of some of the different line changes that we'll have tonight. So he mentions that Anthony Mantha not skate at all today. And then you'll also see, again, they're going to keep the same line here with Coronato, with Coleman and Backlund. That did end up working really well on Tuesday night. Zari's going to get the nod on the top line there with Kadri and hopefully Kuzmenko. Maybe it would be a bit different if Mantha was injured, but Kuzmenko getting another shot there with Kadri on the top line. They like the Huberdeau, Sharangovich, and Postel line. They thought it worked well on Tuesday night. They're going to keep with it there. And Lomberg's going to be now there with Rooney and Justin Kirkland on the right-hand side there. Kevin Ball staying with Rasmus Anderson, Mackenzie Weegar with Miromanov, and Tyson Barrie's going to get slid in tonight playing with Braden Paschal. So Barrie in, Bean out. And we mentioned it off the top earlier is Dustin Wolf will be getting the start tonight, his second consecutive start after a really good showing on Tuesday. He's going to get another start tonight in Boston. I imagine because he starts tonight, depending on how it goes, that Daniel Vladar gets to start Saturday. So here are projected lineups. Again, nothing confirmed yet whether or not Anthony Mantha is going to be out for an extended period of time. At least I haven't heard anything yet, but this is just kind of what it's going to look like. I don't mind it. I actually like the lineups here. I'm more or less curious. I want to see a little bit more out of Kuzmenko here. I hope that he can kind of get out of his slump. For those of you that remembered, Kuzmenko's first game as a Flame was back in Boston last year after we acquired him. So he came on the road trip with us and he played in Boston. He's going to get that chance to play again tonight. He had a great first impression for the Flames when he played in Boston, so we're hoping to spark that again this time around. I really hope that the line of Huberdeau, Sharangovich, and Postel can get going. I'm hoping that Sharangovich can kind of find his footing a little bit here. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, overall, it's a pretty good forward group. I don't mind it, all things considered, with Mantha not in the lineup. You wonder if Coronato can continue his little streak here going into tonight. And I think for me, the biggest question mark is I want to see Kuzmenko try to get out of this little slump. And then also to Sharangovich's line that I just mentioned. I'm hoping to see that, maybe something can get going there as well. But defensively, they're trying to add a little bit, maybe more of a scoring touch, a little bit more of an offensive presence defensively by adding in Barrie tonight. I think they need it because this is a Bruins team that started off the year slow, starting to get back into it a little bit more. This is not going to be an easy team to beat tonight. It's going to be a tough one, and we're going to see, hopefully, when Barrie gets slid in over Jake Bean to provide a touch more offensive presence. And Dustin, if you were tested on Tuesday night, Wolfie's going to get tested tonight, man. This is going to be a tough test. This is never easy. Managed to do it last year in Boston. It's going to be another tough one tonight, but I think the biggest thing going into this game is, for God's sakes, they need to start on time. Didn't see it against Montreal. They were lucky that they didn't get 2 or 3 goals scored on them in the first period, thanks to Dustin Wolf. They started slow against Edmonton on Saturday. They're lucky that wasn't the case against New Jersey. They started slow again against Utah last week. So, the big key message for me, the big thing going into tonight is they need to start on time. Slow against Montreal, could have been 3-0. Slow against Edmonton, it was 2-0. They need to start on time tonight. But I digress. We'll see what happens. Predictions for me, I think it's just going to be an uphill battle. I mentioned it. We were talking about it a little bit on Monday, where I think that I like that Neil mentioned beforehand about this road trip, saying, like, if you can go 2-1 here, that's a pretty good road trip. So I think they can play a little bit looser tonight. I'd like to see them, be a little bit more aggressive tonight. We'll see how it goes, but overall, it's been a really good start for this team, being at this position, being 7-1. Now you get a really good test tonight in Boston, and it's kind of it's a little bit of vengeance, I want to say, for the recent string of teams that are tough teams. Now you get to go into their building, try to make them a little bit uncomfortable. I think it's a perfect opportunity for this Flames team tonight. I'm looking forward to it. I think that for this as a road team, I like their chances tonight. But I urge that if they do not get off to a good start tonight, if you fall down early to Boston early in this one, you're not going to find your way back into this game. And I really am worried about it. I'm curious to see. I haven't heard who's going to start on the other end for Boston, whether it be Jeremy Swayman or Korpisalo. We'll see. Either way, you have Big Bad Zadorov back there. We are all familiar with him. You got Elias Lindholm. Don't forget over there, the former Flame, two former Flames. They're facing off against each other on the same team for the second time, now in a Bruins jersey and not in a Canucks jersey. So I like their chances tonight. But again, they start slow. It's going to be a long night. I'm kind of hoping that, maybe they can get in front by a goal or two tonight and try to hold down the fort. But maybe that's asking for too much. I don't know. But that's the thing. I want to see fast feet. I want to see it right off the draw. I think Huska is going to allude to that too, saying, guys, we have been too slow to start. We need to see that change going into tonight. But we'll see how it goes. So, yeah, I think it's going to be tough. I think in my eyes, they might fall tonight, but I said it beforehand on the pod on Monday that if they start 2-1 on this road trip at the beginning of November here, I like it. I like the start for it, and then you just kind of carry on and go from there. So should be a good one. If you guys want to check me out, I will be live tonight at 7 o'clock in a few short hours before I have a juicy cheese quesadilla that I'm so excited for dinner. I don't have a lot of food in the fridge right now and I haven't gone grocery shopping, so I got to eat, man. I'm so excited. I love a good quesadilla, man. I saw it in there and I'm like, you know what? That would eat great now. So yeah, we're going to have a quick dinner break tonight, but I hope all you can join me on the THPN feed tonight. It's just going to be myself tonight hanging out with everybody else on the THPN channel. Make sure you come hang out with me tonight at 7. Always have a great crowd, and looking forward to that tonight. And then we'll get all the reactions again coming up on Monday from the game tonight. You'll kind of see my reactions tonight for it, so we might not dive too deep into it. We'll also get full reactions from the game on Saturday, and we'll get you ready for Monday night against the Kings. So that's going to do it for me today, guys. Thank you again for checking us out. Episode 14 of God Knows Too Many on this magical journey that we're on. And again, thank you to Nan for coming on for an interview today. We're going to have another interview for you guys, I believe, on Monday as well, too. And we're going to have another one on Thursday as well. So make sure you guys can go check that out. And again, if anybody else wants to be on the pod, any Flames fans that want to be on it, please DM us. Please let us know. And we'd absolutely love to have you on. That's going to do it for me today, guys. Appreciate your time. And I hope everybody has a great weekend and enjoys the game tonight. So thank you, and chat then. Later, everybody.